Good evening. It's time once again for the HideNet Market Report, the week in review covering North America, Latin America, and Europe. My name is Don Oshman, editor-in-chief and publisher of HideNet Publications. Andrea Guolo reports from Bologna, Italy this week that the European market started the month fairly quietly. Everybody's getting ready for the holiday shutdowns in Italy especially, and all over the continent. The only major change was in UK 36 and up, which are kind of benchmark, which eased slightly from the previous week. Also, across the board, Australian wet blue prices were lower for a second or third week in a row. Andrea obtained a very excellent report produced by Lineapel, the makers of Lineapel, which discusses market trends, activities, and so on and so forth in an excellent text and video report, which subscribers can get by clicking on the link in this week's report. There's also it's about the Chinese taking up European cows and helping to clear overstocked European warehouses before the year end, which was badly needed. There's another story about Russia revamping luxury goods and much, much more in this week's report. The HideNet weekly European report, get a free sample, you can't lose. Free. In Latin America this week, Ronald Guerrero reports from Novo Hamburgo, Brazil, that central Brazilian raw prices increased slightly. There's still short kills, and the packers are reluctant to accept any lower prices for wet blue regarding what the tanners are able or unable to sell their wet blue and crust at. So rawhide prices don't look like they're going down to give any relief to the Brazilian tanning segment. Ronald did report there's some better movement in Asia and Europe for the country's exporters, but to do this, they've got to accept prices below the $1.25 asking levels or previously established levels. So there's negotiations going on to get some sales on the books. There's a report on the Uruguayan slaughter and steady prices seen in Paraguay and Argentina, and of course much, much more. North America this week, the big story is the decline in steer prices. With few exceptions, prices fell between $1 and $3, which we forecasted in the previous week's report. Incidentally, we did a survey this week on how accurate our forecasts were. Each week we say what we think the market's going to do in the following week, and through the end of November we were correct 89% of the time. How much is that information worth to you? Knowing when to buy or sell is priceless. That's what we're all here for, and you can take advantage of our forecast for less than $3.50 a day. Is that a bargain? Heavy Texas steers sold down to $69 FOB or $75 CNF depending on origin and average in terms of sale. Heavy native cows and branded cows and dairy cows, on the other hand, were quite firm. Our forecast this week explains why we think steers are heading in one direction and cows in another. There's also a story about packer capacity and which packers are killing how many head each day, who the major packers are, and what type of cattle they kill. Can you afford to be without HideNet? Not if you want 2017 to be better than 2016. Thanks for watching.